Hi there, I'm Sarah Weber, the Brain Cleanup Coach, and this is your 10-minute mindset fix on paradigm shifts. And a paradigm shift is just a foundational shift. It's a change in the way something happens foundationally or systematically. These things, like a paradigm, you can find them within society, within the different ways that we do things, but also in our minds. And when we experience a paradigm shift in our mind, a foundational shift in our mind, is when things truly change for us. So, thinking about the human brain, and if you think about it like a computer with a bunch of coding in there, right? And if you think about using your own Mac or PC or even your phone, there's code written in there that tells it what to do when you push a button, or what to do when you press Control Alt Delete, right? There's coding behind the commands that we give it. And this is kind of the same thing for our brain. When our brain is delivered information by our sensory organs, the coding kicks in. The brain it's like a computation machine. And it looks to this coding in order to generate a response that it then offers up to us. And if you keep getting the same response over and over, that's because there's some foundational or paradigm coding in there. And this is the hardest coding to change. It's not impossible. And what you have to do is you kind of start to have to rewrite some coding. You have to write some code that you want and then practice that coding until finally, hopefully, it kind of sets in and overrides the old coding. Because we, unfortunately, unlike on a computer, a developer or a programmer can get in and go in and change some coding, that we don't really have that option per se as human beings and our brains. But what we can do is consciously think of new coding, think of new foundational or paradigm coding, and then keep that top of mind. And what this coding looks like is basically sentences, thoughts, a way of thinking, otherwise known as mindset. So in order to create a foundational shift in mindset, which is required anytime that you want to change something in your personal life, or something is even changing foundationally within society. If you want to get on board with that, you've got to look at the old coding and accept new coding, or start to encourage new coding for your own mind. So let's go ahead and do a meditation just to kind of visualize these foundational shifts. And here's the thing too, let me mention about foundational shifts. Our brains really don't like them unless our brains know that this foundational shift is going to benefit us in a survival sense. But even then, the brain gets so reliant on the coding that it already has that it can just be really hard to get into a foundational shift. Not impossible, but it's hard work to do. But it is required if you are going to actually shift the way your life works and make lasting change happen in your life. All right, so let's go ahead and just get into a meditation together. All right, so go ahead and sit comfortably, both feet on the floor, back upright. Doesn't need to be rigid, but definitely upright. And the reason for this is just to allow energy to flow freely, through your body, up and down your spine as it needs to. If you think about your spine, what it's doing, it's delivering energy from your brain throughout your nervous system. So when we sit up straight, we just allow that energy to flow more freely. All right, so we have our back straight, but still relaxed. And we're going to start with 3 deep breaths, in through the nose and out through the mouth. Let's begin. Go ahead and close your eyes now on this last exhale. And bring your attention to the weight of your body, where it's in contact with something else. Whether it's your backside in contact with the seat beneath you, your feet in contact with the floor, your back against the chair. You might even feel your hands in contact with your legs if they're sitting in your lap. Just place your attention there for a moment. And now go ahead and bring your attention to your breath. You don't have to change the way you're breathing, just notice what it feels like to take an in-breath, the expansion of your chest, and then the out-breath, what it feels like to just release that air back out into the environment. And just stick with your breath for a few moments here. Okay. Now I want you to go ahead and visualize yourself walking down a path. This path can look like whatever you want it to, and it can be in any type of surrounding that you desire. So go ahead and just take a moment to get that visual in your head. And this is the normal path of your thinking. That's what this represents. But there is something in your life that you foundationally want to change the way you think about it and approach it. Maybe it has to do with health, maybe it has to do with art, or something you're pursuing as far as work goes in your life. Could be a hobby, could be a relationship. But right now, the path you're walking on is a representation of the way you usually approach it. And now I want you to visualize about 20 feet ahead of you, you using the power of your mind to actually shift the ground up. Imagine it like cracking and raising 2 or 3 inches. Just a small shift. And you approach it and you step up onto the shifted ground and things feel a little different. You've created a shift in the way that you approach whatever it is in your life that you want to change, the way you approach it normally. Now the path has been changed, the path has been lifted, and maybe the surroundings change a little bit. And about 10 feet ahead, you again use your mind and you will the ground to crack and shift. And you approach it and you step onto that changed path, and again, things feel slightly different. The surroundings have changed a little bit more again. And you inside your body, inside your mind, things feel a little bit different, a little bit more empowered. And you look ahead, and about every 20 feet, you will your mind to create another crack and a shift. And you can see this happening down the path. These small shifts that you are creating to change things for your betterment and the betterment of others. And you don't resist this, you walk straight into it, appreciating that you can use the power of your mind to produce foundational change. All right, and go ahead and bring your attention now back to your breath. Take a deep breath in through your nose, out through your mouth, and open your eyes. And how was that for you? It's an interesting concept to think about, right? Sometimes when we feel like we need to change, we want to change it all at once. But the brain really isn't designed for that. We have to work with it, not against it. And the best way to change something foundationally in the mind is incrementally. I have a friend who told me once that inch by inch, life's a cinch. So if we take it inch by inch, if we create small shifts, but we do it foundationally, we are going to produce lasting change. Thank you so much for joining me in today's 10-minute mindset fix, and I look forward to bringing you another one soon. Bye.